Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spirit Guide Chat. My name is Jake. Welcome to this week's video. I do weekly tarot card readings for current events. If you are new, feel free to hit subscribe. And to everyone, likes, comments, helps my channel out, helps the community out. Also, to pay attention to the community posts because I do post in there around the time of each week. So if you feel free to ask a question, feel free to do so there. I do have a question from somebody, a viewer question here that I will get to. So with that, and also today's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. I have a lot of questions because we had primaries come through. Some things have happened that I talked about in previous videos. For example, Karen Bass moving forward. We'll talk about that here in a second. Xavier Becerra went forward, and I said that Republican would move forward in the California governor's race. Graham Plattner winning the primary. Nancy Mace losing big time. And recently, today, polling Bill Pulte's nomination. That was just last week video that I said they're not going to move forward with that nomination. He's still going to be acting, but he will not be the one that's nominated for the permanent position. So, with that being said, let's start out with the LA mayor race. Now, there was very strong cards for Karen Bass, the current mayor of LA. Now, it was very close for Pratt versus Rahman, and which it was close. If you remember, Pratt was leading. I did get Three of Swords for Rahman, and she was very disappointed. There's been reports that she was super disappointed of where she landed, and even though she is moving on to the runoff, she felt like she had a stronger campaign that would have separated her from Pratt much sooner. So let's take a look at whether Karen Bass in the general election will win re-election as mayor of LA. She is a former congresswoman, current mayor of LA. I would consider her a corporate Dem. So let's take a look. Karen Bass, will she win re-election? Okay. So we start out with world card endings and beginnings. The three crossing with the Three of Swords, or Three of Swords, Three of Wands. This is she is having a little trouble. What I'm feeling is that her obstacle is her planning. This is a different race than what she thought it was. I don't think what I'm getting. I don't think that she thought she was even going to have to do a runoff. To be honest, she thought she was going to have the main share. I think it's over 50% to avoid a runoff, and I think she is not prepared to do this runoff race, and especially with a progressive candidate. I think she was more prepared to go against Pratt. We have the Six of Pentacles. She is fundraising right now, working with others. Five of Pentacles is in the past. This is where we're at. This is not just something different from LA. A lot of people have been worried about their financial standings. Crowning this reading is this is how she views this. She's the Queen of Wands. She thinks she's an effective communicator. She's very confident in her position. But coming up here, this race. I felt that either way, with Ramona or Pratt, this is not going to be an easy race for Karen Bass. This is the Nine of Swords. She's going to have much anxiety and fear about where she's going to land over the next few months. She is going to keep her cards close with the Four of Pentacles, as well as trying to save money, because obviously LA is an expensive media region. From the outside, the Hierophant is how people view her. They view her as a strong person, an experienced person within government. Her hopes and fears is the Nine of Pentacles. She's hopes she can communicate that people will fare better with her candidacy. Here's the Ten of Swords here, which is not looking good for Karen Bass. And I feel like it's a lot of the younger people that are going towards Vermont with the Page of Wands. So there we go. That's what we have. She had much stronger cards. Wheel of Fortune is there. So I think that a lot of the younger people in that area are going to go towards Vermont. I think she's made some major mistakes in the past, especially with the LA fire, that's going to haunt her. And I think there's going to be a lot of pushback, which is not surprising. I mean, it's not just Republicans, but also corporate Dems, traditional Democrats, that people are not putting up with a lot of stuff that they used to before. And in some ways, I've always said this before, that Trump is the orange one is a what's the word I'm thinking of? He's basically like, the best way of describing him is a wrecking ball. And in some ways, we needed this because there was a lot of things that in our system or within our country that needed to be changed. And this is a way to destroy everything and rebuild it in a better way. And unfortunately, people are suffering during this time, whether it's mentally, financially, things like that, but that's where we're at. Let's look at Xavier Becerra. He was the former HHS secretary, and let's take a look at where he is in the governor's race. He is against Republican Steve Hilton. Again, that was I did not, when I read on this in the previous video, I didn't say he's going to be fighting off Steve Hilton's attacks. He's with the Five of Wands. So let's take a look at Xavier Becerra. Will he win the general election and become the next California governor? Okay. Okay. The people right now, he is portraying himself as a nurturer, someone that can help people financially. The Seven of Pentacles is his obstacle. He is trying to work on the long-term view of things. Now, remember when I predicted that he was going to be one of the individuals in a runoff, he was in single digits. So I don't even think he had expectations of what he was planning to do in the long run. The foundation of reading, people view him as the person that with the Queen of Swords, someone who has clear communication and clear ideas. In the past, has been working on his fundraising with the Six of Pentacles. He is going to be a unifying voice in California, so that's a good sign for that. With the Two of Cups, he's going to be making difficult decisions with the Two of Pentacles, and he's very ambitious. He's an ambitious person, and he is going to make things happen with the Knight of Swords. The one thing I would say that he needs to be careful is that, with the lack of long-term view of planning, with the Seven of Swords or Seven of Pentacles, he has to worry with this Knight of Swords coming in, really charging forward without a plan, because sometimes you can get sloppy. From the outside, people are going to see him as the King of Cups, someone who's emotionally in touch with the people, with the voters. His hopes and fears, his hope is that with the Ace of Swords, that he's going to have breakthroughs with his ideas. And yes, he is the Knight of Wands. He is the person that will be the governor of California, which has been pretty consistent. Okay. Next, now that the primaries are over in Maine, I want to take a look at Graham Plattner and see if he's going to win against Senator Susan Collins of Maine. I would not, even though there was such a strong Democratic primary, such strong turnout, I wouldn't put it past. Remember that um, anybody who's watching that's from Maine or knows people in Maine, they need to still be careful because she is a well-oiled machine, Collins, Senator Collins, and we've had crass elections where the other Dem candidate was ahead in the polls and ends up losing. So we want to make sure that people organize and make sure if you're voting in Maine and you're going to vote for Plattner, that you organize yourself and not think that he is going to win if Spirit's going to say that. So let's see, Spirit, is Plattner going to win? Graham Plattner going to be the next senator of Maine? Okay. Secret to the high priestess, right? Right. I've said this before. There's going to be more stuff that's going to come out. They're going to sling mud, and currently doing so. This is in the current position, which is not surprising. Seven of Pentacles. So it's going to hurt him a lot in trying to plan out things and fundraise. That's currently what he's struggling on. There is a lot of apathy with a certain group of individuals, and especially what I'm getting from the Democrats with the Four of Cups. They're looking at their choices, and it's like, well, we kind of have to. We'll reevaluate. We may end up picking Plattner, but it's not really my best choice. In the past, we had the Four of Pentacles. I think he was keeping a lot of stuff to himself, and now he probably should have said to his campaign more openly. Now we're dealing with this. He's going to Plan B with the Six of Swords. So he's planning. This is not the original plan of what he's wanting to do. He's shifting because of these secrets coming out. Um, uh, but and it's going to cause him anxiety in the near term. I mean, I'm sure it does right now with the Nine of Swords coming through. Uh, he is going to struggle with his mindset with the Five of Pentacles. This is, but people are going to see him still, despite all this controversy going on. People are going, which even proved during this primary, they're going to the Queen of Swords. He's going to cut through what the other side slings at him, and also present ideas and whatnot. But his thoughts are the biggest fear. His thoughts is how to move forward is really he's going to be really struggling. But in the end, the voters are coming out. The Ten of Cups, that's very good in regards to that. And he's going to be working hard in that position with the Eight of Pentacles. So yes. But it's going to be a rough ride, folks. I'm telling you, the cards have been showing consistently the Plattner, where the energy right now, it's not going to be an easy ride getting there. That's why, again, reiterate, and this is not just in Maine, this is everywhere in this midterm election. We have to be on our toes, watching things, making sure we're reading things from reliable sources, and so forth. All right, let's look at Nancy Mace. She was running for governor of South Carolina. She came in fifth place in the primary, rightfully so. Thank goodness. Thank you, universe. Let's see what's next for her. And then we're going to look at her district because she's not running for re-election in her House seat. So that's up for grabs. So let's look at what's coming up next for Nancy Mace. Let's look at the rest of this year's spirit. Let's see how the rest of the year is going to pan out for Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Right. She feels very betrayed. This current situation, Seven of Swords, she feels like she got stabbed in the back, and that's what I'm getting. Her pointing in the back that she got stabbed in the back by the other Republicans. The 12. The Hanged Man. I'm sorry. Today, being my birthday and stuff, I have so many distractions right now. So apologies. We have this crossing the Hanged Man. She's really at the standstill. She doesn't really know what direction to go to right now because of this betrayal, this feeling of betrayal. However, she is trying to make some kind of plan because obviously the clock is ticking. She's only going to be there to the end of this year in Congress, so she's going to figure out what she's wanting to do with the Two of Wands. In the past, she didn't know how to go forward with this of Swords, and she is still making decisions with the Two of Pentacles. So she's in the planning and decision modes, weighing her options. But hey, the Star card is coming up in the near future, so there's some kind of hope. There's some kind of maybe offer. I don't see the cups yet, but there's hope for her. But there's also tension too, coming through with the Five of Wands. I think that maybe that she is going to be fighting against a lot of her in Congress. She's going to be fighting back, especially with probably the Epstein stuff coming out more. Well, we've already hearing it even more recently. So this might be signaling she's going to be fighting against her Republican colleagues. Nine of Pentacles is coming out from the outside, so there might be something coming up for her. Here we go. This is her hope. This is what I was thinking of with the Knight of Cups. There might be some kind of offer, somebody offering her something, and yeah, she's going to be okay in the sense of like nothing bad's going to happen, but she's going to end up finding a new job that's going to be satisfying, and with the being provided financially with the Queen of Pentacles is just so. There's going to be another job offer for her. In the meantime, she's going to cause chaos in the Congress. Chaos for the Republicans, I should say, what I'm getting. So there we go. Okay. Uh, okay. What I want to look at is Nancy Mace is currently representing South Carolina District 1. Recently, they had a primary. The Dems are having a runoff. South Carolina is a runoff state. Nancy LaCour, I should correct myself, Vice Admiral Nancy LaCour, who was recently fired by the Secretary of Defense, Petey, and she's going up against a Coast Guard veteran, Matt DeFord. So let's take a look if LaCour, that's her name, is going to win the runoff and see if Adam will win the general. Will LaCour win the Democratic runoff? I believe that she was the top vote getter in the primary. So that's not always like, it's a good sign, but it's not always meaning that you're going to win the runoff. So let's see what Spirit says. Well, she has a lot of strength behind her. What's being crossed is the Six of Cups. She's pretty ticked off. There's a lot of emotions about her being fired. I mean, imagine you, especially as a woman, veteran, rising to the rank of admiral and being fired for political reasons, obviously. But she has star power in the foundation. People are looking at things in a different way with the Hangman in the past. I'm getting that she is really upset about her being fired from the Navy. By the way, she's a Navy admiral with the Five of Cups, but she has to remind, when you get to Five of Cups, even though it's the minor death card, you're focusing on the things you lost and not looking behind you with the Two Cups that are still remaining. So she does have things going on for her. There's going to be a lot of soul searching going on with the Hermit card, especially with this runoff. King of Cups here, she's very emotionally balanced with it. Again, the Queen of Swords coming up, though, people are viewing her very positively. As a truth teller, someone that's strong. The Knight of Cups, there's somebody, possibly someone helping, a man helping her with her campaign. The High Priestess is coming in here. So there's some secrets maybe they're going to try to throw off. But we get the Queen of Wands if we go further into Ten of Cups. So I'm going to say that she is going to end up winning on the runoff. What I'm seeing. All right. Let's see if that seat will flip. Where we're at. Okay. So many questions. Will a Democrat win South Carolina District 1? Nancy Mace's current district. Will it flip to the Democrats? Ooh, we got a fly out one. We have King of Wands here, the King of Wands. And that's also a yes card, so let's see. Yeah, people are wanting justice here, fairness going on. The world's on its side. You know, they right now the obstacle is wanting this chapter to be closed right now with the Nancy Mace. They want new ideas with the Ace of Swords, the Chariot card coming through in the recent past, fast moving pace. But here we go with the Devil card haunting this right now. The greed and things like that, the Republican machine. But there is hope with the Star card coming in the near future. Planning with the Two of Wands. There is some kind of retreat going on from the outside looking in for the Four of Swords. So I'm wondering, people are recuperating with what's going on. The hopes and fears is to have more balance with the Temperance card and the Page of Wands. That's a yes. So this is saying that this will flip to the Dems, whether it's Lepore or DeFord. So let's move on. Let's do the viewer question that I have. It's from DM3133, and this individual had asked, this was in 2024 in South Korea where they declared the president there declared martial law, and there is, I guess you could say maybe a conspiracy theory that the president there was Yoon Suk Yeol. Sorry if I butchered that name. They want to know if this attempted coup was the U.S. involved in the coup to put in a conservative leader there, and create a dictatorship like North Korea. So let's take a look if the U.S. was involved in the attempted coup in 2020. All right, let's take a look, shall we? Okay. The Justice card comes in. We're talking about cause and effect of balance of power. Eight of Swords was being crossed. I feel like, yeah, the Devil cards comes in here. I have a feeling they were wanting to restrict what was going on over there. The Temperance card, but that doesn't mean the was in the past. There was very much excitement and freedom, and with the Page of Wands. Then there was the Star card here. There was hope. But then there's the solitude with the Four of Swords. Here comes the Tower card looking in. That sudden change that happened there. They're hoping for a new with the Ace of Cups. The Hangman is saying that there might be a possibility. And here the Queen of Swords, there's a big maybe. So what I'm thinking is that what I'm getting from these cards is that they knew, because I mean, the United States has their fingers in many different pies. What I'm getting at is that they knew about this. Did they have what I'm feeling from the cards, the story that Spirit is saying is that they knew about it. They knew about these plans, but they didn't really actively stop these plans. You understand? They didn't necessarily were involved in saying supporting the other side of things, but they didn't stop it either or inform people. So take it how it is, but I'm getting that there was no direct involvement. They were just aware of the situation and didn't inform the the leaders in South Korea. So there you go. All right. Okay. This is a question that I wanted to ask and I ran out of time last weekend, so I want to do this and then hopefully have time to talk about Jay Clayton, who was the man that I believe I talked about. There was a man that was going to be put through when they pulled Bill Holte's name from the nomination for DNI. So let's take a look first. The question is, I want to take a look at the 4th of July celebration. It's less than a month away, the 250th celebration of the United States, to see what the overall vibe will be in the country. And then I have a follow-up question to that. May go over 30 minutes this time, but it's my birthday and I can do what I want. So let's take a look, Spirit. What will be the vibe, the energy for the 250th celebration of the United States? Like, here we start with the Hangman. So there's probably people are going to be viewing things differently before about our country. You know, the Ace of Cups is on the side. There's a lot of emotional loss. What I'm getting is there's not a lot of joy that it should be. Like if you go back, even though I was not around, I was not alive during the bicentennial, but from what I've heard from other individuals and my family and friends, that it was very joyful compared to what this celebration is. And the vibe is the fruits of the labor, the Nine of Pentacles. People are there's n- there's not really celebration of it because there's just not enough of this. Enough of the people aren't feeling these fruits of the labor of what celebrate what 250, okay, but what am I getting out of it, right? Yeah, the apathy is in the past with the Four of Cups. And there's definitely, this is signaling a beginning and a new end of a cycle. So something's going to be happening with what's going on. If I remember correctly, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, because with people who are following astrology, I believe the planets are pretty similar to what it um, was it during the revolution or during the Civil War? I can't remember. So this is probably what it's signaling. Here's the King of Cups here. In the near future, there's going to be something that's going to create some kind of balance. And here's the Five of Cups that happens, the Minor Death card, which maybe um, could mean and possibly mean that there may be a change in the presidency. These. Obviously, people are not going to be feeling it in their wallets with the Five of Pentacles, even spiritually feel lost. They're hoping there's more wisdom, that are more discipline going on in this country with the King of Swords. But in the end, this is going to be indicating that the 4th of July is going to be a beginning of something new. So maybe something does happen, stay tuned. So even though emotionally we're not with it and stuff, but this is around this time is going to be something that's going to be happening, a change that's going to be happening. So hopefully it's what we all are thinking. um, fun little follow-up question I want to see is just for fun and giggles, right? Is I want to take a look at our tricentennial. Um, I'll be very old if I'm around in 2076. But let's look at the tricentennial. So that's the 300th anniversary. So let's take a look in the next 50 years, Spirit. Let's see what the energy, same question, but during the tricentennial, let's take a look how our country will be in 2020 or 2076, July 4th, 2076. Let's take a look. There's been a lot of hard work that's been going on that's going to be happening over the next 50 years. The Knight of Pentacles, a lot of hard work, especially when it comes to money. Knight of Wands is crossing this. And there's been a lot of frustration and delays on all these projects and changes that's been happening. But we've been working diligently. Definitely Ace of Cups. This is a good card showing that there is a birth of something new. Like I said about what's going on right now, Spirit's already saying that there is a birth of something new that happened. In the past, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the karmatic turn of the wheel. The Nine of Cups, there was individuals that came up, or maybe a man that came up with new proposals that made these changes. And then you had illusions and delusions and things coming out from the surface and people coming together. I have to cover up the naughty bits with the Lovers card. People coming together. And there was really, I would say, with the Four of Swords, a lot of recuperation that was going on in this country over the next 50 years. The hope is to have more supportive and balanced leaders. And in the end, what did we have by the time the tricentennial? There's more balance with the Temperance card, which is all very good cards. It's not going to be an easy ride. We have to do what it's saying that there's a lot of rebuild that's happening, but in the good sense, in the financial sense, and also a better turn of events than what has gone on this currently. So that's good to hear. All right. Let's take a look real quick at Jay Clayton. He's the person that was just nominated as a today 611. The orange one announced would be the permanent not, person that he's the individual that he's nominating to permanently replace the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence. He's not going to nominate Bill Pulte. He's just going to be there in a temporary capacity until the confirmation is done. My guess is they're going to try to push this through. So the big reason is the FIFSA stalling, renewing the FIFSA really put a wrench in Bill Pulte's nomination. So the Republicans pushing back. So let's take a look at Jay Clayton. Will he be confirmed, Spirit, as the new DNI? The Justice card keeps on coming back. So they're wanting someone that's more balance. Even though he is a Trump supporter, he was a former SEC chair, and he is currently a federal attorney, I think, of New York, if I'm correct. Ten of Cups, cross. The family's broken right now. There is a split within the Republicans, but there's hope with the star card at the foundation. In the past, they were trying to get people together with the Two of Cups. They're looking at the long-term view. So this is they, as in the Republicans, with the Seven of Pentacles. Uh, we have the Four of Pentacles, keeping cards close. I think Republicans are going to be very careful on their support since we're in midterms about who they support. Um, we have the Queen of Pentacles here. From the outside, the Ace of Cups. So this is looking good, a better choice. The Magician is in the hopes and fears, and yes, the Knight of Wands. And this is a little more fast moving. So I think I was feeling that they are going to push his nomination through quickly because they don't want Bill Pulte in that position that long. So he will move forward and be confirmed. Jay Clee. Okay. So let's close out with a message from. I forgot I had these Oracle cards. It's been a hot minute. Oh, Seasons of the Witch Ostara Oracle. We're in the Ostara season still. We're still in spring, despite it being in the Midwest and central Indiana. It is hot and humid. It is hot and humid. Man, we've had thunderstorms, but it hasn't helped at all. So stay hydrated, folks. If you're in a hot and humid area, stay hydrated. Wear your sunscreen. Protect yourself. I still do my daily walk outside my gym regimen. That's how I keep my youthful 29-year-old body. I'm not 29. You're probably like, oh, you are not. You are such a liar. Uh, Jokes. I have jokes. I have jokes, people. Okay, it's very. Message for everyone out there. General message. General message on my birthday. Let's see. And again, 3-card pull, and I'll continue on till I feel Spirit is done with the message. Okay, so we have okay, this is very, very good. So first start out with the flower wand. Is to let go of what doesn't serve you. Basically, the message. And I love the artwork, by the way. And indulge in celebrating. Treat yourself. Basically, this is the shortbread card. Is to release what's not serving you. Indulge. Treat yourself, however that may be, and in pursue the truth with these pain and aches. Whatever the truth is that you're looking for in your life is to pursue. In order to be better at what you need to be, is to pursue the truth in order to do something a little bit better in your life. And the rainbow, even though things are hard right now, believe in that things can be better, and you have the power to change things. This has been a lot of a consistent message with Spirit that about the power that each one of us have within ourselves. And I'm sorry, I'm not well. This is I know this is um the goddess of spring, Eostre. And this is just saying that everyone has the light within you to, even in the darkest time, we all have light within us. We all are light workers, especially if you're here. So we have the power of light within us, and to make sure nothing dims that out. Um, and it says changing altars. this is something that, like, do something different. Like, stop doing stuff that's not working, change it up, do something, listen to a new type of music. If you like to take walks like me, go on a different path than you normally do. Change it up, do something special. Spring equinox. This is a period of time of change and darkness, but remember, just like when we're spring equinox from winter to spring, eventually you're going to see the flowers, you're going to see the beauty of what's coming after this change. Community garden, making sure that you're building a community, how big or small, it does not matter. Making sure you are surrounding yourself with supportive individuals. The Easter egg hunt. So you may be seeking something that perhaps may not be seeking you. And that what you need is a little shift. Just kind of going off with that creating altars thing, doing something different. And plus, if something's not working, do something different. Stop doing the same thing. So, again, to kind of summarize things, is that we have a power of change. Even shifting something small that's not working can create powerful changes. And remember, no matter what's going on, don't let anything dim your light. Shine your brightly. And with that, thank you all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment on questions you want me to ask in the future. Until then, take care. Bye bye.